Welcome to Zaylon for the 4th round of the NGP season. On pole position is Nironos for the first time for Fivi. In second is Grazan for Kamerok, their best result in qualifying of the season. And in third is Shreyla in the monocraft. Fourth is Vidgal, and fifth is Raschamp. Noticeably lacking from this top 5, or indeed from the grid at all, are Wakwa. The two Wakwas failed to qualify, after both of their cars crashed off in qualifying, and the team decided that their cars were too unstable to continue. The new aerodynamic parts they brought in Matica that made them so fast there obviously caused them major problems here, so they have a lot of work to do to make those safer. In 8th position is Valzo in the Vanox, who has been making great starts this season. There was some rain before the race start, so to avoid a repeat of the chaos that happened in Matica, they decided to delay the start by half an hour until the track has time to dry out a bit. We'll see whether that's worked. The track seems pretty dry now, and they're all ready to go. And away they go. It's a good start from the Kamerok of Grazan, who takes the lead, but Nironos has the better straight line speed on the run to turn 1, and regains the lead. Grazan now being challenged by the Sandaknors behind. It's Vidgal, trying to get past. So, it's Nironos who leads by a second, ahead of Vidgal, who does get clear of Grazan. 4th place is Neuro, who's gained 2 places, ahead of Shreyla, who's lost 2. And 6th is Natro. Natro challenges Shreyla as they go down the hill, and I think he's taken the position, as they all come through the first few sequences of corners. Most of them seem to have made it through cleanly. Nironos beginning to extend his lead. Interesting to see whether Vidgal can keep up in that Sandaknor. Here's the start from Neuro's perspective. He gains 2 places. See how this goes. Yeah, it's actually Vidgal. So, Vidgal passing Grazan up into the first chicane, putting a wheel on the grass. Very close to the barriers there. Touching the barrier on the inside, but he does gain the position. Up into second. On board with Natro. Getting past Raschamp off the line. Pretty poor start from Raschamp. Now we can see his teammate up ahead. He's had a pretty bad start. To the inside he goes, but he won't get past there. Neuro's blocking the way. Can't see a way through, but as Neuro pulls ahead of Shreyla, he sees his moment, he goes for the opportunity. And as they go down the hill, it's Shreyla who backs out of it, not wanting to risk a collision with his teammate. So, Nironos now leads by just over a second, as they go through the forests of Zaylon. Very dangerous track this. It's surprising that they still race here, but they see it as an important part of the tradition of NGP, as Neuro is battling with Grazan, and he's taken the position. Grazan falling through the order in the Kamerok. Kamerok having a great qualifying, by far the best of their season. They don't seem to quite have the pace in the early stages of the race. We'll just see if the 2 monocraft cars can now get past Grazan. And Raschamp in the other Kamerok is beginning to have a bit of a train form behind him as well. So here are the Sandaknors, followed by the train behind the 2 Kameroks. It's Nironos who leads by just over a second. Oh, the other Fivi of Nifiano getting very sideways there, but he holds onto it. He's just ahead of the 2 Zendai Kalo cars. Nifiano doing much worse than his teammate around here. Nironos clearly outperforming him. But can Nironos take Fivi's first ever win in NGP? A long, long way to go yet. This the most tricky of tracks on the calendar. On board with Raschamp here. He's following Natro. Shreyla seems to have got past Natro somewhere. And you can see the straight line speed of that Kamerok. Kamerok might be struggling this season, but they still produce a very good engine. He easily gets past Natro. Here's Shreyla challenging Grazan. You can see through the corners just how quick that monocraft car is. And Nitro's broken down. We thought it was a bit of an easy pass for Roschamp, and that seems to be the reason. Bit of smoke coming out of his engine. And Nitro has broken down, and there's a huge crash between Telzin, and she's been flipped over by Random Racer. And one of the AA racing cars has gone through and hit them as well. So that's 4 cars out in the space of a few seconds. Let's see what's happened here. Vaughn has spun out as they go over the crest. Reverses back. Parks in the middle of the track and gets hit by Zandon. Zandon gets through. And then Telzin loses it in the same place. And Vaughn steers into Mepzazi. And then Telzin, stuck in the middle of the track, gets hit by Random Racer. Here's Telzin. Makes seemingly the same mistake as Vaughn does. Gets reversed back into the wall. Then as she pulls out, she gets hit straight by Random Racer. Not sure that was a good time to pull out into the middle of the track there, but what can you do? And Vaughn makes the same mistake and hits Mepzazi. That's Mepzazi out of the race as well. 5 cars out of the race in one long incident. It's a very nasty accident there. Random Racer did his best to slow down, but there wasn't much he could do. The whole track is completely littered with debris. It's a very long track, so they can hopefully get it cleared out of the way before they come back round again. Here's Zandon, still going after that incident. Lost his front wing. He'll have to come in for repairs. Very disappointing season for Zeta so far. So, here is Strehler, who has got past Grazan. As I was saying before, Strehler's teammate, Neuro, was broken down. Very unusual we see car failures from the monocraft team. It'll be interesting to see whether Strehler's car can hold together, or whether there's some kind of systemic issue that they've got. Roschamp, following his teammate, they now go down the very long straight section. They get right up to the top speeds here, so it'll be a true test of how powerful these cars' engines are. And the two Sandaknors are battling each other as they go down the long flat straight. And it's Neuro who gets ahead. Neuro moving into second, ahead of his teammate Vichgal. So can Neuro now chase down and catch Nironos? We'll see. Vichgal is slowly dropping back. We'll see whether Neuro has better pace around this track as Roschamp hits that inside wall, slides the car but holds onto it. He has been passed by Valzo somehow. Valzo again moving up the order. He's second in the championship at this point to Strehler, and you can see Strehler just in front of him, with just Grax in between them, and that's Valzo's overtake. Really clipping that inside wall just to make it past there. Very lucky to not get serious damage from that. We'll see whether he has any at all. Valzo's not worrying about that. He's wasting no time in getting to grips with the other Kamarok of Grazan. Following right behind him. There's almost no time to react if Grazan wants to spin across the track in front of him. Although, using the straight line speed of that Vanox, there's hardly any room to overtake there. He thinks better of it. Such a high-speed track, and if you make one mistake, then you're in the barriers. Very close to the track here. Or in the forest, as it might be. Here is Naaman, passing Rayleigh. Let's see how he's managed to do this. Right around the outside and up into 8th place. Made that look easy. So here's Valzo, still trying to pass Grazan. You can see his championship rival Strehler just ahead of him. Valzo is yet to actually win a race this season. He's been pretty poor in qualifying, along with the whole Vanox team, and that's one of the Sandaknors spun out. It's Vichgal. And Rady goes off there as well. Into the wall goes Vichgal, trying to get going again. As does Rayleigh. There's not enough space to turn around there, it seems. And I think they both have damage. Vichgal is losing it as he enters the corner, carries a bit too much speed. The auto-reverse system carrying him along the side of the barrier, as it does with Rayleigh. But they both do manage to keep going, even if with some damage, as Rayleigh runs over Vichgal's front wing. But that's cost them dearly. The Sandaknor team will not be happy with that. So here's Valzo. still trying to pass Grazin, as they go up one of the many hills around this circuit. Neuronos holding his lead, about 3.5 seconds to Neuro. The gap stayed about constant since Neuro took second place. Still quite a long way to go, but it's beginning to look like Neuronos has a chance of winning Fivi's first ever race. But will his tyres hold up at the end? This track is very hard on the tyres. You do not want to be going around this of all tracks with worn out tyres. Valzo will be thinking about that too as he tries to get past Grazin. But he's got to take some risks if he wants to gain positions around here. Has a look into the hairpin. But there's never an opportunity there. And all the while, Raschamp is waiting behind him, and his teammate Naaman as well. Valzo has to get on with this, otherwise he might be challenged from behind. Because Naaman's definitely looking to make a pass on Raschamp. Using a bit of the grass as they go through these corners. Really trying to cut them as much as possible to carry too much speed, but we've seen, as with Vidgal, that if you cut the corners too much, it's a one-way trip for spinning out. As Vidgal has a look at getting past Raschamp. Doesn't quite make it work. Still settle for staying in 7th currently. You see Vidgal. What kind of accident we had here? That's Bowron. So Bowron's gone off. Let's see what happened here. Following very closely behind Naaman. He loses it as he goes to the bottom of the hill and spins out. Oh, and he gets hit from behind. That's a very nasty accident. It looks like he would have kept going if it hadn't been hit from behind. It's one of the Zendai Kalos. It's Falvin. And that continues a very disappointing season for Falvin. Very hard with how narrow this track is to avoid cars that have spun into the middle of the track. And often when you come round the blind corner, there's very little time to react either. So, as they go down the long straight, you can really see the advantage that the Vanoxes have, as both of them have got past their respective Camarok counterparts. Bowser now ahead of Grazin. Grazin sticking in the slipstream. Can he use that to get back past? And Raschamp's doing the same against Naaman. No, it's the two Vanoxes that retain their positions ahead of the two Camaroks. And now Naaman's going to try and pass Grazin. Camarok not quite having the pace that they did in qualifying, but 5th and 7th would still be a very strong result for them if they can hold on to it, as they go on to the final lap of the race. And Raschamp doesn't seem to have given up on getting back past Naaman either. You can't see Valzo because he's disappeared into the distance, and there's Lemona. Lemona in the barrier. What's happened here? Oh, she just taps the inside wall and spins out. We've seen quite a lot of drivers hit that wall, and it hasn't worked out well for her. Two Heatwaves running in 9th and 10th position. Heatwave are yet to score a point this season, so this would score them a huge amount of points if they could get both cars to finish in the top 10. This is Heatwave's first season in Formula I, and here is Naaman passing Grazin around the outside. Oh, and their cars have got stuck together, their wheels have been interlocked. Is that going to let Raschamp through? Not quite enough space for Raschamp to take advantage. So both Vanoxes now ahead of both Camaroks. Here's Neuro, still just over 3 seconds ahead of Fivi's Neuronos. As they start running out of time halfway around the final lap, it's beginning to look more and more likely that as long as Neuronos can hold his car together, then Fivi are going to take their first win in NGP. Here's Schraler battling Valzo, and Valzo gets through. Valzo now up to 3rd place after starting down in 8th. A great recovery at this track, which is so hard to overtake at safely. Long gap from Valzo to Neuro. I think 3rd's the best he's going to do. Here is Neuronos. And behind him you can see Neuro. Just about within sight, but not close enough to have a think about challenging. but he's still going to keep trying, just in case Neuronos makes a mistake. Neuro's got to push Neuronos all the way to the finish. He wants to have a chance at this win. He won in Shakna, did Neuro, and he won in Shakna last season. But those are the only wins he's had recently, and there's Raschamp going off. And he's lost his front wing. This is the final lap, but it's the rules that you can't cross the finish line on the final lap with a damaged car. So we will have to pit for repairs before he gets there. That will cost him a few positions, as well as any positions he might lose from having to drive all the way back there with a damaged car. But he seems to be handling that well enough. He'll certainly lose out to Nifiano, who's not very far behind. He might even lose out to the Heatwaves as well. Here's Neuronos, who comes up to the line to take Fivi's first win in NGP. An incredible result from the Matic driver. Second place is Neuro. And in third place will be Valzo for Vanox. The two Vanoxes 3rd and 4th after qualifying 8th and 14th. 5th place is Strehler. 6th is Grazan. 7th will be Raschamp, again being outperformed by his teammate. But of course Raschamp does have to pull into the pits for repairs, so that will hand 7th place to Nifiano in the other Fivi. Quite a disappointing race for Nifiano, considering that his teammate won it. Now, are the Heatwaves going to get past Raschamp? That would be something. And Vidgal, after his damage that he got from spinning off, he has caught up to the Heatwaves. But the Heatwaves are very fast down this long straight, so he may not be able to pass. And it does look like the Heatwaves are slowly pulling away from him, in fact. And they do indeed cross the line in 8th and 9th. An incredible result for the Heatwave team. Very well deserved after a difficult start to the season. They finally got the result that they were looking for. Here's Tekin trying to pass Rayleigh, but it doesn't look like he quite has the speed when he gets outside of the slipstream, and Rayleigh will hold on to 12th place. So, it's Neuronos who wins his first race for Fivi, and Fivi's first race. And what a win it was. From start to finish, he led every single corner. And he's still, even on the cool-down lap as he goes back to the garage, still putting on a show for the fans and sliding the car around. Is this going to be a start of a championship challenge for the Fivi team, or was this just a one-off result? We will see next time on NGP.